I'm joined by the Executive Director of Foundation for Good Governance and Social Change, as well as Public Affairs Commentator, Comrade Austin Osakwe. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers.
I want us to look at there's been a trend in rape cases in this country, but it will appear the one concerning the late Miss Vera Owaila Mosowa has again sparked conversation about this very troubling scourge. What are the social issues we're dealing with as far as rape is concerned in this country?
First, we need to mention and identify the fact that the issues of rape and defilement have become an epidemic. Epidemic in the sense of the rampancy. Everywhere you turn, on a daily basis, we have reports of rape and defilement.
Right.
In some of these cases, you have very little children. And you have asked, the Weiler case, the brutality, the sheer brutality that accompanied the rape has shocked the world. Not only was this promising young girl raped, the rapists went ahead to take her life and left her in the pool of her own blood. It is those images that have shocked the world. But just to mention that there are wide-ranging implications. And I'll take you back. I was born here and I grew up here. The manner in which our society has been organized from time is that of community care, community interaction, community neighborliness. We were trained, and we have tried to train our children, that when they wake up in the morning and say they lie, lamogun, laratwe, it is not directed only at their parents, but at everyone who is older than them in age, and therefore can stand in loco parentis to them. Teachers, uncles, older neighbors. We are training our children to identify that there is an avuncular relationship with those who are older than them. So when a child calls another one uncle, it starts from being the father's brother. But beyond that, have you noticed that children go to school and they address their teachers as uncles?
Right.
In their neighborhood, they address those who are older than them as uncles. My source of sadness since this issue broke is the fact that I have 2 daughters and 2 sons. I have to now call my 2 daughters and begin to re-educate them. That every uncle out there is an animal. That every uncle out there is just waiting for an opportunity to pounce on them. That every uncle out there cannot be trusted. That is the dilemma in which I have found myself. How do I de-educate and re-educate my 2 daughters? Not to trust any man older than them out there. And what do you expect of me? How does a year 1 student of the university who found herself at home because of the pandemic go to a place of worship, which in her own reckoning, in her own opinion, rightly is another home away from home? Not only is the presence of God there, but there ought to be safety there. She goes there, settles down to read her books. She didn't go to a party. She didn't go to a club. She went to a church to go and read. And then somebody who ought to be her uncle walks in, not to help her with her books, not to counsel her on the niceties, on the nitty-gritty of attaining success in life, but to take her innocence very forcefully in the most brutal manner, bloody her head, and leave her in her own pool of blood. This is what has shocked the world. So when you ask for the social implication, it is the fact that that camaraderie, that trust, that community consciousness is fast vanishing.
Well, at the top of the program this morning, I talked about how that rape is one of the many underreported cases across the globe. Incidentally, right or wrong, we live in a society that's essentially conservative. Reporting rape cases can be a big issue, and then, of course, several technicalities involved in investigating rape cases. These are all many challenges we have to deal with going forward, aren't they?
I agree with you. You see, unfortunately, I have been, look, I am a member of the Child Protection Network that has done so much work in this area in Edo State. And I realized that because of the stigmatization, even from those who ought to help the victims, we moved that a special family court be set up for this purpose, and moved that investigation into rape activities should not be centralized in just one police station, that will be manned by experts who have been trained to understand the issues. And at that time, it was domiciled at the SCG police station. I think it's in the headquarters now. So the point I'm making, sir, is that society has not gotten in tune with the severity of the issue. Look, what are the issues really? Number one is that the victims are very young people.
Of course.
People whose minds are still forming. People that we describe in development work as vulnerable. And that they are vulnerable means that society owes them a duty to protect them, give them education, counsel them, and watch them grow into productive adults. It is these same people that they are looking up to protect them that have become their worst nightmares. So it starts from the reporting. A child is raped or defiled. The parents want to go to the police, and then the neighbors say, you want to expose yourself. You want to ridicule yourself. You want to further put this child into true trauma. That's terrible. The second is you go to the police, and then questions like, are you sure? Why didn't you fight back? Why didn't you shout? All of these are transferring the burden
Back to the victim.
back to the victim. So we are victimizing the victim. Instead of understanding that somebody of superior strength, somebody she trusted, took away her innocence. We are shifting the blame to her and asking her to prove now that she was raped. And then there's the medical. And then we're talking of whether there was penetration or not. Okay? The medical people have to do their own test and all of that. But you find that most of the time, because of the arguments, because of the time it takes to take action on the part of those who ought to take action, there's a time lag. And then the story begins to change. And the kind of evidence that medical examination is looking for, most of the time has passed. So these are issues. And then prosecution. I am bothered that evidence will be laid before court of this very most inhuman act, in some cases leading to death, in some cases stealing the future of this child. She will suffer nightmares most of the time for life. Her confidence, the confidence that the child is growing up with, completely evaporates. And then you come out and you say that in judgment, the fellow was given 3 years imprisonment, 7 years imprisonment. And I'm asking, what is that?
You think it's not severe enough?
It's not severe enough.
The weights of the crime.
It's not severe enough. The severity or lack of it will either act as a deterrent or an encouragement. For instance, I told you it's an epidemic. We have had situations where even parents, men, are known to have defied their own daughters. Parents are known to have raped their daughters. Parents are known to have put their daughters in the family way. The stories are out there. Some of them find their way to court, some never go. There are all kinds of negotiations behind the scene. In one of the cases, I was taken aback when the negotiation was being brokered by the police for such a heinous crime. So the first thing is the severity. Look, if people know, it's a normal thing with human beings. If people know that they can get away with committing a crime or suffer little or no restraint for committing a crime, they are likely to commit those crimes again. The parliament, right, the lawmaking organ, and the judiciary need to send a clear message that they reject this and they are willing to take necessary steps to right these wrongs. I am happy that the Attorney General of the state has come out now with an SORO, a sex offenders register. The time has come for us to identify and document those who have a tendency to prey on our children. The girl child is becoming an endangered species. The burden of looking after a girl child has quadrupled, not because of the lack of resources, but because every man who has a daughter now has to be a day watchman and a night watchman. We are getting to a point where we may need to now be accompanying our daughters wherever they go. Why we are saying this now, I heard of another case now in Ibadan,
yes,
also leading to death. Can we continue like this? Can this society continue like this? We can't be talking of the future. We are describing these children as the future when we are destroying their present. A clear message must be sent.
I think we're going to talk about that message that needs to be sent, and the best ways to have that message sent in the most effective way as well. We need to take a quick break now. When we return, Comrade Austin Osakwe is still here to help us begin to look at how we can proffer solutions to these very disturbing developments. Stay with us. We appreciate you staying with us on TMI. Let's have the concluding part of this discussion on rape and the social challenges with Comrade Dustin Osakwe, who's been here for a while now, talking about all of the elements and the conversation. So a while ago, we were talking about proffering solutions to all of this problem, because we can't continue to be stuck in this kind of situation. So what must government do? What must institutions do? What must the people do? Somebody was saying on my radio show yesterday, we need to also, in your words, de-educate boys. The boy child needs to get the right education about how to treat the lady, whether his sisters or the ones in his class or the ones who are his colleagues. So how do we address all of these issues?
Well, I think we need to group our recommendations into two. There are the immediate and there are the long term. I feel very strongly that there are things that we must do now to send signals. Number one is that it happened in a church. We must talk to that church. The church must take a cue from what the Catholic did in the case of Vivian Ogu by immortalizing her. The clearest message that that church can send now is to set up a skill acquisition center, a large one, named after Uwaila, to immortalize her and to shame those who believe that they've snuffed out their life. That thousands of young girls like her will now have the opportunity of acquiring skills and looking with hope into the future. That church must do, and immediately. Number two is that the Attorney General, who has begun this sex offenders register, must be encouraged to firm it up and give effect to it. We need to start documenting rapists and defilers. There are many in our society, but we need to publicly see them and shame them and keep them away from the normal processes of society. That's what happens elsewhere across the world. Once somebody is named a defiler, any community it goes into, they are urged to identify the person and keep their, and it doesn't go close to any child anywhere. They can't teach, they can't, wherever you have children, they can't go near. That's very crucial. Three, interestingly, I like the manner in which the governor of the state quickly moved into the arena. That's important because it gives moral force to whatever effort that is being made. First, at investigating and discovering the culprits. And two, no less a person than the chief executive of the state is sending a clear message that this is the wrong direction for our young men to be heading. Such message has to be drummed again and again. I expect other highly placed persons to begin to condemn them. That's why I like the high-profile visitation that has been made to the Uwaila residents. It's been globalized, CNN has had it, and other persons within society must begin to drum it. We can't let it die. It must become a rallying point, first, to encouraging our young girls that they are safe. Two, to begin to send a message to our young men. It is an irony that in an era where the economic sex trade is highest, yet we have young people preying on little girls that are their nieces, their younger sisters, whom they ought to protect. It's an irony that society needs to engage. The police must rise up to the occasion now. The longer it takes the police to give us the culprits, to expose the culprits and present them to the public, the less confidence the people will have that the criminal justice system can protect them. Every young girl out there wants to put this to rest. Because believe it or not, my daughters are asking me questions. And I'm sure ditto for every home where you have young girls. And schools, questions are being asked. So if we can quickly find the culprits, and the police have the capacity to do this, they must mobilize all their resources and galvanize their men to quickly discover who the culprits are, presented to society, and let them face the full weight of the law. I'm happy that the IG says he has sent forensic experts to aid them in Edo, and that is very commendable. Look, the civil society in Edo State has been fully mobilized, I like to thank them, the non-profit sector, child protection networks all over, across the country. Women icons are raising their voices, and this must be sustained. Because you see, it does not begin and end with Uwaila, but Uwaila is a rallying point. Every young girl out there, every child out there, the girl child, must now be encouraged that there is a future, that there is a hope, that they are not cannon fodder, that they are not chattel to be bought and sold, that they are not animals to be destroyed. They are human beings enjoying the same liberties that the boy child enjoys. And I think that lastly, there must be deliberate education of the boy child. For too long, and I think I said this some time ago, it was dangerous that we were having a multiplicity of NGOs focused on the girl child, and very few or none focused on the boy child. We now know that that was a mistake. The intention was good.
Yeah, but it was misplaced.
It was misplaced.
Okay, I think that still is something we have to address.
Yes.
Going forward.
We need to have organizations now taking it as a priority to begin to educate the boy child
on many of these issues. I'd like to appreciate Comrade Austin Osakwe, Executive Director, Foundation for Good Governance and Social Change, for coming to also shed light on this issue. This is an ongoing conversation, everyone. I mean, because it has opened, as it were, Pandora's box of other issues that must be addressed as we make progress with this matter. That's our program for you this beautiful and very promising Thursday. Remember, the opinions or the views of our guests on this program are their opinions. I'm Mofwegwe. Our coverage continues here on ITV. Enjoy the rest of your day.